Mr. Steinman, when we talk about development in the economic context, what is development?
Elsevier, it's not that easy to put a definition to development, but it is very necessary for that reason that I cited earlier, that everybody is throwing around these big words, sustainability and development and blah, 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 without telling you what is it. And the easiest way to get an idea of what it is that we want with development is to look back, as I always do, into history and see where we came from. So if you say that we are working on development or that we are doing something to achieve development, you need to go look at what it was when there was no development. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You can sort of set benchmarks and set targets for development if you compare to where we are now to where we were 100 years ago. And that is the best way for you to quantify the development road. Because just like sustainability and like the shift in sentiment in the world, the progress is so gradual. It's painfully slow. It's inch by inch, and you don't realize it from yesterday to today. You only see it when you look over longer time frames, and if you look back in history. So remember what I just said in our previous session. Sustainability means that you now have to contend with the additional expense components where you bring other stakeholder interest into the formula for what is a successful enterprise. So if it has the ability to generate a surplus even after taking care of ESG or social investment, then you have an entity like any one of the older mines that contribute over many, many, many years, first of all, to employment. Meaning there is a financial pipeline between the operations of the entity and the people working for it. Salaries, And what does it mean? It means that suddenly all sorts of potentialities that we were only talking about 50 years ago are now becoming reality. Why? Because people are earning incomes. And it sounds very simple, but this is the reason why I say look back in history. There was a time when if you were not white and if you were not colonial, you didn't benefit in what is in the ground in Namibia or what is in the sea. So do you get what I'm saying? That big shift in the mindset, that we have made it, we've completed the circle in certain areas, but we are still in a transitional phase in other areas, and development is one of them. And you can only get an idea of what we're talking about if you look back 50 years, 100 years, when we all lived in Kambashus in the bush, and there was no future really for indigenous groups. Now I know today it's a debate on the whole continent: who's indigenous, who's not. Must you be white, or must you be black, or must you be Arab, or must you be whatever. This is slowly becoming irrelevant. And what is it that makes that those distinctions irrelevant is development. But what is development? Development is the fact that we all share in the spoils of prosperity. It's not exclusive just for one group, or if you look at it in economic terms, it's not exclusive just for one form of capital. Now there's a very important word, because in the past it was just money. The guys who came in with the big sponsors from the big stock exchanges, they called the shots. Today we realize there are various forms of capital. The fact that there is uranium in the ground is a natural form of capital. It's provided to us by nature. The fact that there are communities in that area who can work on that mine, that provides us with an element of human capital. which wasn't recognized, I would say 50 years ago, you know. So, and this all comes down to that thing of development. Is the next generation going to be better off than we are? And are we better off than our parents were? And this is the whole thing with development. You know, some people, they want to compete in the rat race. To them, the 2 cars and the fancy house and everything is important. Other people don't want that.
Yeah.
You know, they just want an easygoing life or fulfillment. And this is where HDI comes in that it measures fulfillment and not necessarily just return on investment.
Interesting talk indeed, but unfortunately we have to say goodbye. Thank you so much for keeping it locked to the power station. If you want to listen to our previous talks, go to economist.com.na. You will find all our talks there for the past how many years, Mr. Daniel Steinman?
Almost 3 now.
You see, so there's a lot to listen
There
because
are
we had a
over
lot to talk about.
300 different talks there. It's a
lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot for you to learn from, especially when you're a student in economy. So get on economist.com.na. From me, Elsabe Tuminyani, and from Mr. Daniel Steinman, as well as from our team, we say goodbye.